Hi, this is Christian from the PayrollHero customer success team, and in this video, I'll show you what an unscheduled work attendance is and how to resolve this infraction. So first, I'll go into Wednesday here, which I can see I have 3 pending unscheduled work attendances to resolve. I'll scroll down here, and we can see that we have 3 employees with this attendance infraction. We have their schedule, their start time, end time, and the total hours worked on the shift. So an unscheduled work attendance infraction happens when an employee works more than the total time of the shift and beyond the grace period defined on the thresholds if one is configured. If you have a threshold, this would be automatically resolved. Or also, an unscheduled work attendance infraction would happen when an employee works time without a schedule. As we can see here, Ned Flanders has no schedule. However, he has a start and an end time and 8 hours 32 minutes work. Please note that depending on your company overtime settings and how unscheduled work is resolved, it could credit overtime. So have that in mind when you're resolving this. Now I'll show you how to resolve an unscheduled work attendance infraction. Here at the top, we have a summary of what happened. Here we know that Barak has worked 55 minutes more than expected on July 1st. In this section, I have notes on the previous attendance resolutions done for Barack Obama. I already had to resolve his 8:05 a.m. clock in, and as a reason I wrote that I asked him to come in early to finish a pending project. So that's very important to have in mind with my decision now. I have 3 options. The first one is submit as is and submit unscheduled work. Like I said before, this could credit overtime depending on your overtime policies. Some companies pay overtime after 8 hours, some pay after 10 hours for certain positions, etc. So consult with your HR team if you're not familiar with your organization overtime policies. So in this case, Barack Obama worked 55 minutes, and our company, the overtime rate is paid after 10 hours. So in this case, he will be credited for 55 minutes, but not at the overtime rate. So I'll submit as is, submit the scheduled work, it's approved. He was asked to work. And I would click submit as resolved. The second option would be to revert to a schedule. What this would do it would cancel these 55 minutes and revert the schedule to 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Would it be not approved? He was not asked to work overtime. These are just example reasons, right? And the third option would be to only submit certain amount of hours of unscheduled work. Say, for example, I did speak with Barack Obama and I only asked him to come in 30 minutes of earlier, and therefore I only approved 30 minutes of overtime. So I could write only 30 minutes were agreed on. And I would click on submit as resolved, and he would be credited for 30 extra minutes on this day. You always have the option to submit the resolution or decide later if you need to talk with the supervisor, with the employee, whatever you need to do. You always have the option to decide later when to resolve this attendance. Now I'll show you how to resolve an attendance when an employee worked without a schedule. So in this case, Ned Flanders had no schedule, therefore he worked 8 hours 32 minutes more than expected on July 1st. The first step when there is an unscheduled work attendance without a shift is to find out why this was worked, right? I would speak with the supervisor or the employee to have the reason. In this case, the employee wrote the reason when he clocked in. He wrote that he was asked by me to come into work because store was understaffed. So the 3 options that I have is, as before, submit as is, submit the unscheduled work. He would get paid for these 8 hours 32 minutes. I would have the second option, which is revert to a schedule, but in this case, because there is no shift, he won't be credited any time, so be careful with that option. And the third would be to only submit a certain amount of time. So say, for example, I only approved of 4 hours. It's great that he worked more, but I'm sorry, we simply cannot pay for more. So as before, you always have to write the reason. Why do you have to write always a reason on the attendance resolutions? It's very simple, because it will help you maintain really good transparency within your company, and also to keep the payroll team informed on why a decision was taken. Especially in this type of situations, it's very important to know why a decision has been taken, because there might be overpayments here. So in closing, I would like to remind you that resolving multiple unscheduled works statuses is a good way to keep track of employees that are frequently working overtime. I would consider chatting with them to make sure that they're managing their work efficiently, or maybe there's some work balances not set up correctly. For example, maybe there's a store that's too busy and employees are constantly working overtime for that. So this concludes this video. If you need any more assistance with resolving unscheduled work, please refer our knowledge base at support.payrollhero.com, where we have more information on all this and all attendance infractions, or contact us at support@payrollhero.com and we will be happy to help you. Bye!